Well, while we're currently waiting to find out exactly what the charges against Alan Weisselberg and the Trump organization might be, what we're not expecting, according to sources, are any charges specifically against Donald Trump. Because this is America, and why would you expect justice, you dummy? But anyway, last night when Trump was doing a town hall with Sean Hannity, they barely even referenced the impending charges because that would require Sean Hannity have some sort of like journalistic ethics and to believe that like impending major news is worth bringing up to the president. But anyway, it came up very briefly with Donald Trump listing his past legal battles. He said, "New York radical left prosecutors come after me. You got to always fight. You got to keep fighting." That was as much as they talked about it. He had a former president whose organization is facing criminal charges the next day, didn't even bring it up. Sean Hannity, hell of a journalist. But anyway, that doesn't mean that he doesn't have a reaction. We just won't get it directly from him. According to Political Playbook, the former president was on a conference call on Monday with his advisors discussing his favorite topic, revenge. And by the way, the playbook doesn't go any more into detail about what they were talking about when it comes to revenge. Just revenge, like the concept. Is it best served cold? I don't know. What do you think? But anyway, he was interrupted with an update on the investigation. He was told he would not be personally indicted, only Weisselberg and the Trump organization. Trump was thrilled by what he saw as light charges. And according to one of the advisors on the call, his mind raced to 2024. Just wait until 2024, you'll see. The former president implied that the legal case would be seen as a political witch hunt that would backfire on Democrats. This is going to hurt Sleepy Joe. So what do you know? He interpreted news events as being beneficial to him and thinks that everything is a witch hunt. How weird, I never saw that coming. But is this a win, Adrienne? I mean, every source that I'm seeing says they could, like whether he's never charged or not, the organization could be caught up in legal troubles that would be time consuming and consume a lot of money. They say it could potentially bring down the corporation. That seems bad. I don't know, what do you think?
Well, it's funny because bringing down the Trump corporation, it's like how many of Trump's corporations have ever stood up? A lot of them are bankrupt anyways. So kind of almost shoulder shrugs. If anything, it'll just make one less potential channel for Trump to funnel money through and not pay the taxes on. Trump, he always likes to self-aggrandize and just say, "Oh, it didn't hurt, it's no big deal." I do appreciate that these are lower level charges, and on first glance, I'm sure Trump thought it's a win, but he's an absolute fool if he thinks that there's not going to be more and that this is not setting him up in some way to potentially lose Weisselberg as someone on his side.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It reeks of like, to use a really outdated analogy, it reeks of like The Simpsons with the pig flying. It's still good. It's still good. It goes into like a slime infested river. Like Trump, man, he will eat that pig, metaphorically and literally. But anyway, so here is something that I'm just gonna add one extra detail from Playbook that makes it even sadder. So my belief, and I think my preference as a person who can only take so much cringiness, I can get through most of Scott's tots, but I fast forward through a bit of it. My preference was that Trump and his theories about becoming president again, like in 2 months, is a grift. He doesn't believe it. He's just telling that to the rubes to get them to give him money and all that. That would be bad enough. According to these sources that talk to Politico, it's worse because the aide who says now he's definitely going to run for president again, as if that was ever in question, goes on to say, let's see, it's a witch hunt, it's gonna anger his supporters. Aides say that his interest in the case pales in comparison to his obsession with the idea that he could still prove to be the winner of the 2020 election. His world is seriously consumed by that, said a Trump advisor. In comparison to election fraud, the DA's investigation is not even close. They say he's even questioned the merits of the Constitution if it can't be used to investigate election fraud. So it being a grift is sad. Him really believing that the Arizona cyber ninja thing is gonna make him president by August is so much sadder that I almost hope that the aides are just saying it to make him look bad. I don't wanna believe that a person could actually believe that. A grown adult who served in government as president could believe that, yeah, we're gonna cruise into Halloween with President Trump again. I don't know how you believe that, Adrienne. Any final thoughts?
I've always wondered, is Trump really just practicing like The Secret, where he thinks as long as I believe it, it's gonna come true? Because that's how I've rationalized it. I'm like, wow, he's got some strong game when it comes to The Secret. Like he's out here manifesting some stuff, because that has to be what's going on here. Otherwise, it's just not in any way logical.
Don't worry, Ivanka, I've got this. I'm putting a little cutout of Arizona on the vision board. It's all gonna come up Trumpy.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.